Okay, right, I'm going to sow some Mangetout peas. Now, Mangetout are great because you harvest them obviously when they're just nice flat pods. And I always think they're actually better value for money than peas, because peas you take the pods off and then you have to take the little peas out, and you don't actually get an awful lot off a row. Whereas Mangetout, you're eating the whole pod. So I actually think they're much better to grow. This variety is called Sweet Horizon, but there are many others as well. And they're great. You can sow them very early in February or March. If you live in the sort of milder parts of the country, you can actually sow them direct outside on the plot from March onwards. But for most people, certainly if you're going to be sowing in February, it's actually best to sow them inside. Put them in a cold greenhouse or a polytunnel, or even just a little mini greenhouse, just to get them started. And then you plant them out from sort of the end of March, April. So we're going to sow them in a variety of containers. Obviously, one of the most popular containers to sow in are these cell trays. Cells like this, similar sort of size to this, and all it is, they're very big seeds. It's just a case of just putting one on and pushing it in, just about 1 centimetre deep, and then cover with a bit more compost and just fill the whole tray like so, water it, and then place it, as I say, in a cold greenhouse. Doesn't need to be a heated greenhouse, and just once they come through, just grow them on and then plant them out from the end of March or middle of March. But you can also plant them in guttering. Now, guttering is great because you literally sow them into the tray. Make sure you've got holes in the bottom, so drill some holes in the bottom. And then when they're ready to go out, you create a little seed drill, which is a similar shape to this. And then you literally just open the end and then slide all of the peas, all of the compost into the trench. So there's no root disturbance, and they'll get away a lot quicker. So it's very easy to do. It's literally just a case of filling the guttering with some compost, like so. I've got a seed compost here, but any multi-purpose compost is fine. Doesn't need to be anything expensive. They grow really easily. That's it. And obviously this is a short piece of guttering, but you could actually use much longer lengths. And the beauty of these is you actually sow them as you would similarly to sowing them in the open ground. You space them, zigzag space them along quite close together, a couple of inches apart. Just dot them around. You don't have to make any sort of pattern. Just place them all in like this. Because what happens once they go in the ground, they'll all just grow amongst each other. They'll actually twine around each other, and you'll put some sticks in to let them help them to something to grow up. And that's just the nature of how they grow. There you go. You put some more compost on the top. And water them well, and just put them on a greenhouse bench. Ideally, when you plant them out in March or April, depending on when you're sowing them, I would put some sticks in straight away, so they've got something to grow up. But I would also cover them with either some fleece or some horticultural, some netting, just to keep the birds off, because pigeons will come down and will nip all the tops off. So you really want to cover them. Once they get established, once they get a little bit bigger, the pigeons don't tend to leave them alone, but certainly in those early stages, cover them up.